We decided to build a house in Costa Rica and started with this tiny lot. 90 days later, we have a huge metal structure that is not typical for a Costa Rican build. It will be here forever.
Our place has gone from being just a small summer home to being an actual place that you can live in, well, for the rest of your life. Yes, our owner has changed a few things, and it's really extended our time. We're on the other side of 90 days now, but I thought, you know what? Why don't I just kind of back up, give you a rewind, and show you everything that happened and what it took to get to day 92. So we're going to take a look at it because it's really looking great. It's fabulous, but remember, a lot of things changed in our build, which changes the design, changes the time, lots of challenges, but hey, tune in and I'm going to show you all of the things that happened starting from when we first arrived at the job site.
Immediately, we had to make repairs to the road coming into the lot so that our tractors and supply trucks could make it up the slippery hill. Then, we were able to start leveling the lot, which actually gives us more room to build. Then, it was time to find a place for the septic tank and dig that hole. Since we started this build during the rainy season, the daily rains really slowed down progress and caused a lot of delays in our build timeline. This caused us a lot of extra work. For example, the septic tank was delivered, but it was raining too much to put it into place. So we had to get it off the truck and then have the truck come back at a later date to move it a second time. With all of that rain, we had to quickly get culverts in to keep the rain from washing away our road. We continued leveling the lot and prepared to build a retaining wall against the neighboring property. Then it was almost time to have that truck come back, but we needed to dig a leach field for our septic tank first. Then the truck came back and moved the septic tank. While we were getting the tank in the correct place, our tractor was hauling in different sized rocks for the leach field to filter the excess water that would eventually come from the septic tank. Our build site was finally level and ready for the contractor to begin building. But first, we need a construction shed to house our tools and a place to work out of the rain. It's a great place for a coffee break, and our crew can continue working when it does start raining. Just as it was time to start building our house, well, the owner of this property decided to buy the adjoining property that had a build project gone wrong. So we needed to tear this structure down first, and it was a sad day for the original owner, who had hired a crew that didn't know what they were doing. He lost about $100,000 because he didn't know what you're learning in these videos. The good news for him is he was lucky that somebody was willing to buy his property. With that old eyesore out of the way, it was time for our contractor to start laying out the foundation according to our foundation blueprints. Now that we know where the foundation goes, it's time to dig the holes for our column support foundations. Getting your foundation right is the most important aspect of building your house. Then we had to lay a gravel base in each of the column foundation holes and start building the column support rebar systems. Building these rebar support systems took a long time. Our crew spent many days bending, cutting, and tying rebar together to create these systems. Then they had to put all of these in the correct place and ready for cement. Next, it was time to build our column base plates that would support the I-beams and the entire weight of the house. These base plates will go inside the main foundation columns, and then they will eventually get filled with cement. Our foundation is done, and it's time to start building above the ground. We started by building a cement block storage room for the downstairs garage. This storage room would serve double duty as the retaining wall for the property that was just purchased. Originally, the blueprints called for only a retaining wall, but the owner decided it would be nice to have a storage room in the garage. This was a great idea, but added an extra month to our timeline for this small change. Now we need to build a massive concrete beam so we can tie in the house that's going to be above to the storage building below. We also need to have a waterproof seal on the back side of this building, as this is the retaining wall for the adjoining property. This concrete beam looks great, and it's super strong. It also has vertical column base plates for our I-beam structure, which will become the first floor foundation of our house. It's finally time to start erecting I-beams, but this is a very dangerous process. These I-beams can weigh several hundred pounds per linear foot. It takes a lot of time to get these I-beams into place and then properly weld them together. Over the next few weeks, our build site is starting to come along, and it's starting to look like a house. The main I-beam structure was finally put together, and we could start welding the metal on top that will eventually become the walls and the first floor of our house. About this time, the owner decided to make a huge change. He wanted to add a second floor. So we had to extend these I-beams to accommodate his request, and we started building the roof rafters. 90 days later, our house in Costa Rica is coming along nicely. This is probably the best built house I've seen in Costa Rica. Make sure to schedule your free 20-minute phone consultation so our professionals can help you build your house the right way. Next, it's time to begin building our roof.